I think she may be unhappy with me. I just gave her a bath. No bees. I had a conversation this morning with an older gentleman sitting outside having a cigarette, and his brother approached, and he started telling his brother, "Oh, you need to do that. Well, do that. Well, do that. Well, do that. Oh, here, do that." And I think of the culture of our older men. Like, why I can't stand them. I don't date men in my age group. From their perspective, however, figure they were the problem solvers. They were the heroes. They were the John Waynes. They had to come in and solve all the problems. Everybody wanted them to tell them what to do, how to do it. And so now as our culture changes, these men are being kicked out of their homes. They can't be tolerated. They just force their opinion on everybody, and they don't understand why nobody wants to hear what they have to say. And I think of, how I was raised to be a woman. You spend all day sitting around with the other women, gossiping, smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee, maybe playing cards. And then evening came, the men came home, everybody started drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, and doing whatever adults decided to do. And now I started dealing with hot flashes in my 30s. After each child, I'd change belief systems, and I would start experiencing hot flashes, and I knew that it was my DNA changing, and when we change our DNA and our thinking patterns, they happen at the same time. So if you change your thinking patterns, you change your DNA. If your DNA is changing, it changes your thinking patterns. And so now, I'm having hot flashes and aches that I didn't experience before. I always came out of those hot flashes feeling really good. And so I started to do a quick search on menopause and how culturally menopause experience very different. So in modern society, and like as close to a Western vibe as you're going to get with women who don't experience menopause systems, I guess those are the Danish women. And when I think about it, the Nordic cultures, they are very strong in the empowerment of women, Valkyries, shield maidens, the warrior aspect in the Celts, very strong. And in a lot of the native cultures, those women who had passed into the crone phase, as they call it, actually had the authority to depose the chief of a tribe because the man wasn't serving for the good of the community. So there's a very different cultural and symptomatic experience of menopause throughout the world. And obviously, the culture within which I was raised is not conducive to an easy experience of menopause. I know, I had turned to the red tent and learned energetically the reason women experience PMS with cramps and grumpiness and all that was because of energy blockages from self-expression or lack of it. So learning this, I learned to express myself in each moment instead of repressing it or keeping my mouth shut if I was uncomfortable with something. For example, shopping trip. The husband and the oldest daughter would fight every time we went grocery shopping. So I would come out, I'd be itching. I thought I was allergic to peaches or raisins because those were the snacks I would eat, and my lips would swell up. It turned out it was a symptom of my tolerating this fighting. And when I put down my foot and I said, one or the other of you can come grocery shopping with me, but not both of you. And I no longer experience those allergies to peaches or raisins in the trail mix. And I also stopped experiencing cramps and exhaustion before my period. I would suddenly get high. I'd have like this energy burst. And then the next day, I would get tired, the blood would start to flow, and my periods were much lighter. So the power of understanding how the body's naturally supposed to flow through a monthly change greatly influenced my life and my ability to be comfortable within my body. So now I'm going through this great change, and I don't have the support system around me that would inform me of how to make it easier. And educating myself, it turns out the adrenal glands are what is left to produce the estrogen and all those other hormones that the ovaries normally would have been producing. So now, in a culture, and especially in my circumstances, where stress initiates adrenaline to cover physical and emotional symptoms, the adrenal glands are burnt out. So that's why I can't rejuvenate myself in nature like I used to. I used to just go sleep on the ground for just even a night, and boom, I was full of energy again. Now I can't experience that, and I don't like that. I feel very disempowered by it. So now I need to heal my adrenal glands and let them do what they're made to do. And I can only do that in stable circumstances. And how do I get that in a culture that's crumbling without a proper backup system in effect? So, of course, this just renews and intensifies my desire to create a red tent for women. And I think, how powerful would it be to have both trans men and trans women be able to honor those aspects of themselves that could also probably use a red tent? It's just a very poignant time in my life.